recalled the first thing that I came up with, I was a man, and I was swimming with a manta ray, and the water was very clear and blue, like my favorite color, blue-green, but I was curious. I was curious because I knew that I was the same as the manta ray, and I was the same as the man, but yet I could see there were two of them, but I knew that it was the same, and I didn't understand that. The only sensation and everything I got out of that was how much I loved being able to swim like that and flow like that together, and it was just seamless and effortless and joyful. And then I recall asking the manta ray to jump. I wanted it to jump and just see that magnificent thing it could do, and then I was aware it was a her, and she complied and she jumped, and it was just so joyful. So the only message I got from that is jumping and the joy that is associated with when you do, when you release and let yourself do that. I lost myself for a while. I didn't know what was going on. It was just dark, not unhappy dark, it was just dark. And then I did see that corridor, long, endless corridor, and I never went or got anywhere. It just went on and on and on and on. And so I couldn't make anything out of the fact that I never seemed to get out of the corridor.
That shows you how many lifetimes you've had. There's many.
And the death scene was very odd. I couldn't quite get in touch with this, but once before, when I did a regression, I realized I was not a person. I was a living thing. I was disembodied, and I was this giant vine-like thing with lots of animals and insects and stuff living inside or on me, supporting life. And so this time around was somewhat similar. I realized that somehow I was part of this plant life, but it wasn't just one thing this time. It was this field of sunflowers, and I could see it from way above, and it was almost like I was falling to earth into them, but somehow, again, that duality, I knew I was them, and that death thing didn't feel like death thing, it just felt like absorption. And
great word.
That's really all. And then I remember starting to come back thinking, I failed this exercise because I just don't have enough conscious awareness of where I go.
Yeah, that, as Karen says, that when we go to these places that isn't consciousness, stuff happens that doesn't come back through consciousness. I was watching you all, and as you were doing that and we were getting the higher messages, you were smiling and nodding like, yeah, I'm getting this information. So even though you don't remember it, there was a body consciousness of getting it. Would you like to start what you got for your mining the Akash?
This time around, I was female and young. I had very brown skin. It occurs to me as some kind of aboriginal. But they're water people, again with the water. This time it's a sort of blue lagoon. And the idea is her job is to be waiting. And the waiting is for two things. One was waiting for the navigators to return. And I was clear that those were guys. So there's some kind of waiting and lookout to announce them. And the other was the idea that the water gave reflection, and from time to time people came and it would help them see their reflection. And somehow this was a bit of a ceremony, but it wasn't unpleasant. It was some kind of divination, maybe, to help them in some way. And when I lifted myself up, I could see the top of the mountains where the navigators, the dead ones, were. So some kind of sacred place where they went, but if you went up high enough, you could see all around, and that's where they were. And I think I looked at my feet. There was some kind of bark, but it seemed like it was just helping me not step on the shells. So it wasn't really clothing so much as some kind of protective stuff that I couldn't really recognize. But it felt very peaceful. And I think that was all I know. trying to once again find out where I go when I go.
That peaceful feeling that you can bring back with you and tune into and bring into every part of your life, that's beautiful. But also I think the reflectiveness of water is emotions too, and the sacredness of your emotions and reflecting them. There's something in that connection with water and reflection.
It does seem like a healing thing.
Beautiful.